So this is going to be a story about how my very last trip to prison. I went. This was mid 2007. I went to Territorial Correctional Facility (TCF). It was in Colorado. It's in a complex up in Colorado where you have what is it? The federal one up there. Dang it! Why is it? I don't know why, but the Ultra Supermax is up there, and you could actually hear the sirens from the yard up there. I've been in that complex before earlier, but that's not this story. This story is when I went there. I arrived, and to start this story, this is a big part of why I didn't join any prison gangs in my whole time. I didn't live in a prison where you had to. It was optional, and it seemed like if you were either scared or you just had a lot of ambition and time, it might be the thing to do, or you thought it was cool. I didn't fit into any of those brackets, so I never joined a gang. Earlier in my incarceration, I had a guy ask me if I wanted to join his association, and I very quickly told him no, because I have a huge problem with authority, and that doesn't just end with police. Like, I'm not going to do stupid things because you want me to do stupid things. Like, we're not going to do it. And I'd actually grown up in the California system. I did a lot of juvie time down in San Diego in the 90s. That was terrible. I didn't join any gangs there, but that was wild. That was dirty. I'll throw that into a video. But one of the things I realized in this place was a lot of people had been there for a long time. I was there because, well, no. So the people I noticed there they were all the HIV patients. There were a lot of OG gang members there, but the place was infamous for not having violence. We had a dog program, and that's where the old death row was, but that they shut down the death row in the gas chambers, so they were running the dog program out of there. And it was a very calm, relaxed place, but it was a wild place too, as far as the history goes, because you'd look at the walls, and it's one of the oldest prisons on the west side of the Mississippi. So you look up at the walls, and those inmates carved those walls. If you look up on the mountainside, because this is way up in the mountains, if you look up on the mountainside, you can see the old shack where the guards used to sit and tie up their horses while the inmates have built these walls. But what I noticed was there were a lot of medical people up there. That was the hospice. That was the mental health prison. There were a lot of, man, I don't know how to say it without being disrespectful. There was a lot of transmission individuals. Dude was named David. He wanted to be called something else. I called him by your name tag. I mean, if that's disrespectful, it is what it is. But I don't... Angel, Star, your name is David, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. It's what it is. And so a lot of those people were there for selling themselves while knowingly having HIV. On top of that, there seemed to be one of every major gang leader, right? Colorado, we don't have a lot of known gangs. Like, if I talk about the gang leaders that were there, and I mention their specific organizations, you guys are not going to know what I'm talking about. But all three, so Colorado has a major local Hispanic gang and a major local white gang. And both of those leaders were literally and openly in love with other men, even though that conflicted with their gang leadership, or their gang rules. So yeah, I never got down with the gangs because I didn't have to, and I felt like the people who did, they were, it was unnecessary. And a lot of them were just trying to take advantage or turn prison into a fun time. Like doing time in Colorado prison, it was super chill. Like this was in the mid 2000s. You could have a TV, you could have a radio, you could have a little job, and it could be super comfortable. And I think that's how, honestly, that's how they defeated the gang stuff, like you had in California, because there were inmates trying to push California politics out there. But the second that you started running a little crew or something, you were gone. The only dudes that could actually actively run crews were the black dudes, were the brothers, because they were like 30% of the population, and it was only split into two different groups, the red and the blue. So, and I'm sure there were others. I was young. This is a young white boy's perspective, but this is what I saw. So, if you identified as a leader, and you happen to be white or Hispanic, and you'd get picked out really quick. So, there was nothing like that. It was actually really chill. You had time. What's up, man? You had time to get your mental together, man. You really did. I don't know what it's like now. And to this day, dude, I hear these prison stories online. To this day, dude, I'm so glad I did soft time. I did soft time, bro. I got in one fight and didn't even get hit, and I got jumped, and I got a tooth chipped that was already chipped. Yep, that was it. I saw one fight. I had one homie get stabbed in the face with a toothbrush, and it got broken by this one gang member because the other gang member told him to do it. And like, I know the whole drama behind it, but the whole point of what I'm trying to make is there's only two of these gang members on the yard. Come on, man. Come on, man. That's soft, dude. Compared to all these other stories, like, that's so soft. That's so soft. So I'm glad I did soft time. I don't ever want to go to prison. I live in Texas right now, so I damn sure ain't messing around. And nobody else should either.